You're watching Access LaPorte County Channel 97. Coming up next is the May 19th meeting for the Michigan City Port Authority Commission. You can find more information for this meeting by visiting www.accesslaportecounty.org.
Good evening. Welcome to the Michigan City Port Authority Board of Directors meeting, May 19th. I'm calling the meeting to order, and I'm looking for approval or corrections of May 5th, 2025 meeting minutes.
I make a motion to approve the minutes as presented for May 5th, 2025.
I'll second that.
Anybody? All in favor?
Aye.
Do you have your speaker out?
I'm sorry. Yeah, he has a new little hand.
He has a new hand,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, he's fancy.
Sorry.
All right. Any comments from public?
No, sir.
Nice to see you, sir.
Thank you.
Reports from the Harbor Master, Mr. Frame.
All right. Well, as far as the Port Authority goes, we continue to launch boats on our schedule and do work orders as people get situated into their slips. So that usually involves adjusting the height of the finger pier or adding extensions to the 4x4 posts or installing a ladder or reinstalling a ladder or moving the dock box or tweaking the dock box. So that's or replacing dock box, right? That's the standard stuff. So other things going on in the area. Since last time, the Corps of Engineers finished, apparently for now, putting stone on the outer breakwater. I really thought they were gonna do the other whole half of it. It appears they did about a third of it. So there's still a middle section that's open. I do know they're coming back next summer to do some work on the end of the east pier, which is where the lighthouse actually is. So maybe they'll do more of that stone work at that time. The NIPSCO sheet wall job is ongoing. They brought in a second barge, as you've seen, and so now they have two crews running. And it looks like they're pretty, I'd say 3/4 of their piling is in place. They did bring in a bigger pile hammer to try driving some of it down further, which seemed to work. They did 5 or 6 of them like that and then stopped. So I don't know if they're going to come back past or what the current plan is, but they seem to be on schedule. They expect to be finished with the sheet piling by the end of June. So that's all I have for now, unless anybody has any questions.
The sheet piling, they just eventually just got what they can't drive in, they just got to level it off.
I believe so.
That'll take a while.
They're using 60-foot sheets and they're getting down into the clay layer, and that's where they're running into problems driving it in.
Yeah.
But they want to get it within 10 feet of the length of that sheet. So they want to be at least 50 feet in. So we'll see.
You have most of your summer help people back now, or
I would
I
say
mean,
probably.
I guess are you on schedule to get what you would?
Yep.
Thank you.
Anything else for Mr. Frame?
Was there a problem with the gas stacks? It looks like they were.
Yes, the one gas pump on the closer finger pier has a bad circuit board in it.
Okay.
So it's currently on order. And as soon as we get that, then they'll get that up and running.
Wow. We've had a lot of trouble with that last couple of years.
Well, yeah.
I know it's old.
We've had some storms come through here this spring that's knocked the power out a couple different times. And I don't think that did it any favors.
Yeah, the power. Yeah, the power hasn't been nice to us. Let's put it that way.
I think we had an estimate, if not last year or the year before, approximately what it would cost to kind of revamp the whole thing. And I think you mentioned $50,000 in that range. That's so.
Yep.
Repairs are not so bad to that if we continue to do it.
Right.
Well, the big thing was getting that chip reader in there because that
Right.
solved a lot of issues with voters. That's for sure. As long as it's working. All right. Anything else for Mr. Frame? Anybody? No. All right. Reports from the Assistant Harbor Master of Administration, Mrs. Pilecki.
We continue right now to make appointments for the launches, for the work orders too that need to be done, and people coming in and picking up their parking stickers
And reprogramming their
and
files.
reprogramming their files.
All right. Anything from Mrs. Pilecki? Anybody? All right.
Stickers were underneath the tablecloth here for a while. I didn't see them.
All right, reports, Mr. Ferguson, budget and financial oversight, review and approval of the bills.
Talk about the budget, and then I have another 10 seconds on something else as well. See the cover sheet on the bills to be paid. The summary sheet shows 64,000 and change. There's another 4,000 on the some more details on the next page, but it's this front page. The main things are obviously petroleum for resale, some heavy groundskeeping that we're in the. We will do this every month now. Kind of. When Marianne said we're, if not under contract, we're scheduled to have the place cleaned up with this organization almost every month now around the clock for whatever reasons. But you can see some of them coming back in. Elon Financial, that's our credit card charges. There's always a summary someplace. If anybody wants to ever look at what those details are, but I'll put those here. Ice machine, that's, I think Tim talked about the ice machine maintenance last couple weeks ago, I'm not sure, but we're lucky to be able to fix that. One of those, as I remember, we've had some problems with that over the years. I see about 6,200 on MB Electric. Is that continuous the annual dock repairs predominantly? That's what I thought. Security, and then some tractor repairs probably down at Trail Creek. So as you say, there's pretty well lists everything. So with that stated, I'll make a motion that we accept the bills as paid for $68,208.91.
Second.
Second, any questions, any concerns?
I have,
Yes.
just curious, the Michigan City High School, was that like for prom or something?
No, it was for an ad in the yearbook.
Thank you.
Okay, I just one other thing briefly.
Let's get,
I'm sorry.
that's okay. Is everyone all in favor of pay the bills?
Aye.
Okay.
Pardon me.
Sorry.
Pardon me, I thought we did that. Just let you all know, as part of the treasurer's responsibility, is to keep an eye on the year on not only the bills to be paid, but also how we're doing, referencing to the money coming in on an annual basis, and how we're doing as far as the annual plan. So Marianne is able to get a report like this really every day if she wants it. I've asked to have it just once a month, and it's got a great amount of data in there for people like myself that like analyzing all this stuff. But it gives us really good information, and we're right on track as far as spending. We're a third of the way through the year as far as this report goes, and we're right on track on that kind of expenditures. We have expenditures that go up and down depending on the month and stuff. Obviously, they get some more during the summer months, and in the fall when we're buying supplies for various things. But we're right on track. Just like to let you know, all that stuff's available pretty quick. Revenue is coming in. We're right on track also. So that's just a report that everything's looking good for the year. We're right on plan. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Haynes is not here tonight. Port operation personnel, Marina, pretty much status quo right now. Let's just wait until summer actually hits before anything might happen. Just hopefully, we've addressed a lot of things that were concerns over the last couple of years, and I think we're on the right track. So that's all good. Mr. Messina, Voter Communication Special Events.
Maybe good and bad. It seems like when we have a north wind, brings the water up in the basin area, and it's a lot easier to get on the boats. But the lake is rough and you can't get out there. When you have a south wind, it blows the water out, and it's a bigger step down getting into your boat, but the lake is nice, so it's kind of a give and take thing. But I don't really have anything. I think they had Shrine fishermen in over the weekend, or Thursday and Friday maybe, of last weekend before the Mother's Day. And I didn't have any results in that because I didn't get involved, but I know it was a tournament that they put on, and That's all I know, nothing coming up.
Mr. Banner, Master Planning and Special Projects, Park Liaison.
I have nothing to report.
Mr. Sapers, Advertising and Public Relations.
All I've got today is the continuation of the signs from the area from the Coast Guard Station down to the corner by the Sailing Club. And I've got copies for folks to review. We've revised these verbiage-wise a little bit. So basically, we've got 3 different signs for 3 different areas. The fishing permitted when boats are not moored / tied up is multiple signs. So I counted out the other day between one end and the other how many upright poles we have existing. And I think if we went every 5th pole, for example, it would take about 7 signs to cover it on those. Then the 2 that say contact Michigan City Port Authority for overnight mooring, those actually face the water side. There would be one large one at the end by the sailing group, and then there would be another one midway down where there's an electrical box. There's actually an existing sign there now, just needs refreshed anyway, so if we're doing them, I figure we do both of those. And then the other one that's more descriptive, that's a large version, at the end, down by the sailing group. Again, a nice big large one that's kind of just outlines what this area is for. And the other thing that we had previously talked about a little bit was painting the steel plate that runs from one end to the other. It's white, needs kind of a refresh, recoat of paint. And we talked about putting boat mooring stenciled on there every so often. I could leave that up to Tim's discretion as to how many areas to put that on there. But with that, I'd like to make a motion that we approve these and move forward with the signage.
Do you have you figured out how much cost it's gonna be for the signs or where we're getting?
I don't know on that. I asked Mary Ann about where we get signs. She said that sometimes Reprographic Arts here in town or online. So we don't have an actual bid for cost of signs, but beyond that, I guess we could, certainly get that. But I guess I'm looking for approval to move forward with getting that information and approving these the way they are stated.
The only question I have is, who is going to monitor this and who is going to tell these fishermen that they have to move? I mean, if it's just a sign, they're just probably going to ignore it,
Okay?
Well,
Well, at least if there's a sign that's from us, at least there's something there.
yeah.
So if there's a squabble or disagreement and somebody has to come, we post it. Is that the right thought, Joe?
Yeah, I mean, that's, the initial thought is to give notice. And then, I don't know, we have, I believe, during the summer months, there's somebody here all night, right?
Yes.
Security,
Yeah,
so I think security would be the first point of contact.
okay.
I think the whole idea here is to give some
We want to give goodwill at the same time.
Right.
We want to make sure everybody's treated fairly.
And clarity as to what the area is, right?
That's all.
I'll second your motion.
Any other conversation?
I like the changes that you made from last meeting, some of the suggestions and ideas, so I'm in agreement with it.
Okay, so Sam?
You referenced, in your conversation, you referenced, we the pronoun we, was there part of a committee you were looking at here? I just didn't know who all was in.
Well, Dan and I were on a committee looking at all of this originally with Tim, and then
Okay.
SOC was looped into it,
That's
on
I just-
revisions and so on and so forth.
I just heard the we, I didn't know who all
Gotcha.
the we was. Is staff okay with it, with the general changes? Okay.
So all in favor?
I
You have anything else, Mr. Secretary?
do not.
Okay.
One other
Thank
thing,
you.
Yes, sir.
Thank
Good
you.
job.
how long will it take to get these signs?
I think that might be a better question for Mary Ann, maybe. I'm not sure if,
Just depends on how busy the places are. But you never know until you tell them what you want, and then they tell you how long it's gonna be.
Do we know where we're gonna get them made?
No,
No?
because we didn't even know what was going on this summer.
Okay.
Kevin at Reprographics really good, and he's pretty quick on stuff.
We should have up to date by the next meeting,
Yeah.
because we'll have to approve how much we're gonna spend.
All right.
So we should be
Thank
good.
you.
Yep.
Sure.
All right, the Turner Report, Mr. Zachman.
I'm pleased to report I only have one thing to talk about today, it's very brief. The yacht club lease has
That
been
point-
fully signed.
Point of order.
Yeah.
We have to take it
Oh,
off the
that's
table
right.
before we can
Oh.
talk about it.
Okay.
I'll make a motion that we remove the yacht club lease from the table.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you, Mr. Manner. I had a note to myself to bring that up, but you beat me to it. As I indicated, we have a fully signed lease with the yacht club. And that's all I have today.
Any questions for Mr. Zachman today?
Is that gonna include what we were discussing as far as the amount of space between? the
That's all written in there.
It's all in there?
Yeah, all we can do at this point is we'll do a new professionally drawn Exhibit A. It's the premises, it's a map, essentially a survey. And I just kind of drew a line and drew an arrow saying 3 feet from this point and nothing below this line is included in the premises. So I'm gonna work with Mr. Frame and we'll get somebody to do that. It was, can't remember the name of the surveyor that we worked with, John Doyle. They're gone, and we don't know what happened to their records. So it's now a question of finding out the cost of a survey. Commercial or marina surveys are probably gonna be really expensive. Residential surveys have gone up, and those folks are 6 to 8 weeks behind. Commercial, we're talking in the thousands.
I just
And
did
this
my
is just
property
to
and it's
decide whether we
2200.
want 1 foot or 3 feet.
No, we've already decided on 3 feet. What I've done though is handwritten in a line, it's a nice straight line using a ruler, but then wrote in, 3 feet off of this line, and then everything south of that is not included in the premises. And the thinking is, let's get something professionally done and replace that Exhibit A. Here, I can show you what it looks like. I mean, it's not that bad. It's the old one, just with this line drawn in, and it's indicating 3 feet north of the north side of the pavilion, and then everything below that line, east and west, is not included in the premises.
I'm not gonna second guess, I just bewildered.
I just did a survey on my property, a boundary survey, it was $2,200.
Yeah, they're ridiculous. Well, you got stakes? You
Yeah.
put stakes in?
There's stakes, but there was also from, I don't know who, there were actually markers, we just had to find them.
They're really getting expensive.
So anybody else have anything else for today?
We're gonna be working on the rules and regulations for leases and stuff.
Yeah, I think if the president would appoint a committee, I'd be happy to work on that committee, but put together a license agreement and then some parameters. We're not gonna have bachelor parties out there with, alcohol and strippers and things like that. But what we might have, a wedding
We're taking
reception,
everyone's fun away, Joe.
Graduating parties.
graduation parties, things like that.
Yeah.
Decide on if we'll allow alcohol at all and things of that nature. And,
Well, there's banquet licenses, so you'd have to have a license.
yeah, they have to get that, and then we would demand that they have liquor liability insurance and things of that nature.
And we can say, I'm sure we can get a lot of templates that the parks use, so.
Yeah, and
That's-
I might have something, but yeah, I think that would be a good suggestion as well.
So Kim, you'd be good at that because you have a lot of access to things at the city, so it'd be great for you to be on that committee, and would
Yeah.
I'd like to be
you
on.
like to be on it too? Yep, that'd be
Okay.
fine. That'd be fine with me. And we'll get together at times and let's work on that.
So based on what our attorney has said, I guess we can remove that yacht club lease from the table. We can do away with that, Mary Ann. We won't have to put that
Back on.
back up again.
Well, Mr. Lynn, appreciate you coming today.
Thank you.
Thanks for enjoying all the excitement. Does anybody else have anything?
So at least 2 of the pumps, gas pumps are working out of the 3, right?
Yeah.
All right.
make a motion, we adjourn.
Here we go.
I'll second that motion. Let's go to.